In studio is Anania Maboza. He's not a guest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ukishakuja hapa more than twice,
Naam.
you become a member.
Huyu ni
Of
wetu.
course.
Yes. Good morning.
Morning to you, morning.
How are you?
I'm good too.
Good to have you back.
Thank you.
How was your weekend?
Weekend was nice.
Yeah?
Except for the upheavals,
Yeah.
the turbulence in the country, also political, and after the State of the Nation address by His Excellency the President.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the talk in town.
A lot of turbulence.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, before we get into the State of the Nation address, Okio Ntata set up a committee to look into his suitability for the presidency
Yeah.
in 2027.
Yes.
When somebody wants to become a president, do they have to do that?
There is that provision,
Yeah.
and most of Kenyans do not understand or realize it.
Okay.
And because Okio Mtata is very firm and well established in terms of the legalities in the nation, in terms of the electoral laws,
Yes.
civil rights laws, human rights laws, therefore he chose to do the right path so that he makes Kenyans know that, do I just vote for this man, or what is the mechanism that is being used per se at first, and which committee is this that is running or would run the show, so that you look at the integrity part of these people, their backgrounds, whether they are lawyers, they are engineers, they are social scientists, they are media people. Are they the correct fellows that will advise him from the onset for his bid for the 2027 elections? Because we know they are crooks that have money. They pounce in the process of a presidential candidate. There are these who are wash. We know them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they pounce on you so that they are seen to be playing a bigger role.
Yeah.
Yet their background and character is dirty. That is what he's trying to show Kenyans what has to be done.
Okay. So this committee, they're going to look into his character.
Them,
Yeah.
they are going to do strategies for his political campaigns.
Ah.
So you are lining them in the public, in the Kenya Gazette, which by law itself it's a law. So that if you have any questions of any of the committee members that he has appointed, then you can raise an issue over their suitability or not.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So how wengine wote kweli hufanya hivyo ama ni vitu tu
Hawajawahi kufanya, ni sheria zipo, lakini sasa watu hawazifuati.
I've never seen this happen.
Unasikia tu secretariat. This now is the secretariat. Utasikia secretariat of PNU, secretariat of ODM, secretariat. But do they tell the people who are these? These are non-politicians. But the secretariat mostly is composed of former politicians, current politicians, those who also want to run. And then there's that conflict of interest for fighting for various seats, maybe governor, county women, senator, MP, MCA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That I didn't know. I saw that and that's interesting. We need to know. But also let's get into the conversation of the day, Anania. On Thursday, the president delivered a State of the Nation address. And he was looking at his administration's scorecard and future endeavors. And something that came out of his address was the cancellation of Adani Ketraco deal, right?
Yeah.
I want us to listen to the president and Energy CS Chirchir of what they said earlier on concerning Adani. And let's begin a conversation from there.
All right.
The Adani Group are investing in the transmission line. Their money, 95 billion. We would have otherwise gone to borrow that money, burden the people of Kenya. This is now a private sector investment, the same way Keshan here is a private sector investment, the same way Sosian is a private sector investment.
Honorable Speaker, integrity, transparency, and accountability has been adhered to through the conduct of due diligence, which has revealed that, like we found out up to the time where we got the orders that Adani has not been debarred by any country. There has not been engagement in acts of corruption that we so far found it on due diligence. Is not insolvent, is tax compliant in all jurisdictions in which it has local tax presence, is not a default on payment of social security and employment benefits.
Now, that was our president and also Energy CS. Now, we also saw that United States has charged the Indian billionaire Gautam Adani with fraud.
Yeah.
And then right after that, we see a ton of events.
Yeah.
Who did not do their due diligence?
The agencies within the Republic of Kenya who solely have that responsibility, like the one who presented the report in the National Assembly, must have duped or cooked the information, because he just said he has a clean bill in terms of insolvency, in terms of I don't know what, social security, all these things. But normally, before that one, because it's a private-public partnership, that one involves the Kenyan public at large. And that report ought to have been tabled so that Kenyans know which agency did what, and investigation was done. Which countries did they have a threshold on where Adani had traded with those countries? But it was just mere word, Mr. Speaker, ABCD. And His Excellency the President is normally guided by the advice of the cabinet ministers. When they are being sworn in, they will uphold the rule of law and constitutionalism and advise rightly to His Excellency the President. The President doesn't make any investigations. He relies on the state agencies or whoever have been given the responsibility. So for him, I'm a former advisor, you just take to him the memo in bullet point over this issue. Issue number A, in bullet form. He has so many things to do. So he goes through, unless he has a query about it, then he tells you, can you expound on this?
Now, looking at it again, sijui what happened, because I think hiyo information ilipatikana on Wednesday night, kitu kama hicho. Then Thursday morning, just before the president apiane ile address, the current CS sasa, naye pia akasema hiyo anaona kama haita affect kitu yoyote. Hiyo nayo huwa inakuwa vipi? Because ndio tumeona US wamesema hivi, but now a CS anakuja anasema sisi mambo ya due diligence tuliona kila kitu iko sawa. The CS aliongea on Thursday morning. Yeah.
Unajua, inafahamika kwamba ukorofi na ufisadi ni donda sugu ambao liko nchi ya Kenya. Na kuna tofauti ya mimi kama maboza kufanya kazi yangu binafsi na maboza kufanya kazi ya umma. Na imeshaonekana si kuanzia sasa. Utateua mtu ukijua kwamba yeye atatekeleza wajibu wake kwa haki na kwa niaba ya taifa la Kenya. Lakini mwisho inachipuka kwamba anaangalia maslahi yake kwanza. Alafu ndiye angalie maslahi ya wa Kenya. Hii ndio tatizo lilizoko. Kwa hiyo vile vitengo husika ambavyo vyafaa kufuatilia, kama hiyo Economic Crimes Unit, Ethics and Anti-Corruption, hakuna kitu kitakachoamuliwa bila wao mirengo miwili hiyo kuwako. Je, walipeleka independent report zao vipi? Sasa unakuta ni line-up ya watu kadhaa, si mtu mmoja. Na ikiwa swala limepelekwa kabla halijatamkwa, huwa kuna cabinet sittings. Katika ile cabinet sitting, kila waziri mwenye hoja yake, kwa mfano kama hii ya Adani, ni wizara ya kawi na wizara hii ya uchukuzi. Lazima wanatengeza memo zao kueleza lile baraza la mawaziri, akiweko rais kama mwenyekiti na deputy kama naibu wake, lijadiliwe kwa pamoja si swala tu la wizara hii na hii, la, ni swala la taifa la Kenya. Je, haya yalifanywa? Ndiyo yale ambayo Rigathi alikuwa anasema juzi, kwamba mimi nilikuwa nikipinga. Kulingana na yeye, hao mawaziri wote walikuwa wananyamaza, akizungumza bwana mkubwa wote ni yesa. Sasa hatujui. Kwa hiyo tungetaka waziri mmoja, wawili, watatu ama haswa husika wakawi na wa uchukuzi, aidha akanushe matamshi yale ya Rigathi, na wakinyamaza kimya ni kwamba wameyakubali. Silence is acceptance.
It is. Are we seeing a space where, because if we didn't get the news from the United States, then it would have sailed through. And we had a lot of people come and talk about it. The JKIA issue, the Ketraco deal, it would have sailed through. So are we trying to say that the president does not have the right people in his team?
That's what I was saying earlier here. You appoint somebody thinking that they're going to help you, but their personal interests are far much higher than the country's interests. And because Kenya has got foreign relations with other countries, America being one of them, and the one that His Excellency visited last as a state guest there, there are so many bilateral agreements that were written, cutting across corruption, good governance, all these things. So once he's indicted there, definitely there must be talks between our foreign embassies over the issue of this man. This is what we have found out. And in terms of the bilateral agreements that we had when we were in the States, this was one of the issues, corruption. You see?
Yeah.
And this is the evidence that we have. And we must accept that America is far much ahead than us in terms of such issues of corruption, fraud of international scale. They have got the muscles. So once it's relayed to you as the head of state of Kenya, there is no way now you start to hesitate. Let the bygones be gones and make a firm decision. And this is what the president did, to make a firm decision, directing the line ministries of energy and transport to cancel the tender with immediate effect, and then float another tender to follow the principles, the procurement principle of government tenders.
You've talked about cancellation. Now, what cost implications does this have on our country?
If at all the contract was signed and filed with the relevant authorities to warrant him now to step into Kenya to start the works, I am sure in that PPP contractual arrangement, there must be a default claim. Now we are not privy to that. You've not seen it, neither have I seen it.
What is a default claim?
Default claim means that if I've given you a contract, you are to perform within this period of time, beginning from maybe 1st of December until the next 4 or 5 years, then you get the payment, or you bring your money in, and then it reaches 30th December, you've not started the works, that's a default. On the part of the person to do the tender.
The work, yeah.
And if in that PPP agreement, as against the person who the works are being done, now the government, the Republic of Kenya, they are to do ABCD, maybe give mobilization funds, or maybe give them this space of work, then they don't comply within the period as required under that agreement, then that is default on the part of government, which has got implication of costs.
So our government will have to pay.
Now you guys of the Fourth Estate, the true leaders of Kenya, either elected or representing the people where they are on, need to push. We have that PPP agreement put open, public to Kenyans. Then people will see the provisions. How was it? Is there a penalty, and how much? Now if this one is cancelled at this stage, what is to be paid? Now if it is been found that this guy is a fraudulent guy, he does not befit, there is no reason that he should be paid any penalties, because he did not come in clean clean hands.
So that means as a country we are a bit safe, because I can see the deal between Energy Ministry and Adani Energy Solution was signed on 12th October 2024.
No.
Yeah. Na shida kubwa tu sasa ni vile ambavyo umetaja kwamba pengine hizo documents hatuko nazo za kwamba pengine tunaweza onyeshwa tukaambiwa ilifaa ianzie hapa, na kama haingefanyika hivyo ama ina case ambayo kumekuwa cancelled, pengine hiki ndio kingefanyika.
Kwa vile sasa wajua wabunge wengi walikuwa ni waoga na maseneta, madamu rais ashatoa mwelekeo, ni mmoja tu aende akaulize hiyo document hiyo tabled in parliament, tujue haswa ilikuwa ni kitu gani, ndio Wakenya waone kwamba je, tuwapoteza hela ama hatupotezi. Na kama tutakuwa tuwapoteza kwa uzembe wa waziri fulani ama katibu ama wale wahusika, hiyo itakuwa ni wana bear responsibility.
I'm noticing something about our members of parliament again. Now, we remember the finance bill when there were a lot of issues with Finance Bill 2024, and people came to the streets. And after the president cancelled it, we saw a lot of, again, members in support and saying, yes, the president has done a good thing. And we're also seeing a case where now with the Adani deal, there was a lot of push. It's happening, it's going to take place. Once the president cancelled it, they also came out and said, yes, the president has done a good thing. Are these yes men?
They're abdicating their responsibilities
To
and
who?
betraying the Kenyan citizens, because they are the watchdogs on behalf of the Kenyan people.
Yeah.
And if now they don't do their work and they have subcommittees headed by a chairman, a team of around 33 MPs per committee, you mean 33 people did all see? They were all blind? That's where the question arises.
Yeah.
So they are burdening His Excellency the President. Everyone doesn't want to shoulder responsibilities until and when the President says ABCD, they have a relief knowing what they did behind their backs.
Is it burdening the president or is it fear?
Then why do you stand for an elective post if you fear? The basic principle in politics, especially in Africa, you must know, one, if you talk what is right for the people and in accordance with the Constitution, then you'll be made poor, whichever means. Two, they will see your source of income. What is it? Hotels, production, industry. KRL will pounce on you. Thirdly, and finally, if you are hard-headed in terms of assisting the Republic, they eliminate you. Should be prepared. So why fear? Why then do you want that job when you know the risks? How do you want to become a soldier and you don't want to go to the forefront?
Oh. Very, very important questions. Yeah?
Yeah.
How do you want to become a soldier if you cannot go to the forefront?
Forefront.
To the war front?
Yes.
Yes.
You must face the bullets. You must face the opponent.
But are we seeing, using the deputy president as an example, are we seeing a space where if you speak up, yes, you are sidelined?
That's why I'm saying when you talk of the fear, they fear being sidelined by the government. And it's not the entire government that is for that. The particular people. When you talk about the late Kenyatta's time, there were guys who were the kitchen cabinets, the Kihikas, I don't know, the Yoroges, I don't know what. When you came to Moi, we had the Biwots. When it came to Kibaki, you know, there were the Michukis. When you came to Uhuru Kenyatta, the Murades. Now with the current head of state, they are still there. These are the people that are bringing back the country behind. And you cannot underestimate them. Where power is, that's where they are. How do you start questioning somebody welcoming the president and is being ushered in State House and then say that this guy is powerless?
And Kisoni, we are talking about the president's State of the Nation address that took place on Thursday. Anania, what stood out for you?
One, I listened it very carefully from the beginning to the end.
Yeah.
5 issues came out. 1, he emphasized on peace, tranquility and order in the Republic of Kenya, without which there won't be any progress or development. The second one that I saw was about infrastructure development and human resource development. So he emphasized on that. Unless we have good roads, good transport, air transport, and we have human resource enough to cater for the needs of the citizens, there is no way we are going to progress. The other one, he talked about wealth creation. Wealth creation is if we have products, maybe in form of fruits like mangoes from Tana River, we don't sell mangoes as a whole, but we must process them to make value addition, which means we'll be creating industry, maybe different parts of the Republic where such products are found. And then buttressing that is job employment to the people. And that last thing, the fifth one, was about access to market. Access to market, that's why he brought about the digitalization. Services by the government, and he explained over 245 services provided by the government are digitalized. And to make it easier, an e-citizen portal was opened. There's central payment of monies that are fees paid to the government through the pay bill of 222,022. This is as well on curbing corruption by civil servants in terms of collection of taxes in the Republic of Kenya. And he alluded that since that one began, the collection by KRA has at least 2 billion shillings in excess has been collected. Those were the 5 pillars. And this issue of peace, which I mentioned earlier, on extrajudicial killings, any family that your person gets lost, report to the DCI immediately and get an OB, and then the matter will be pursued. On the issue of abduction of women and killing, he gave 100 million shillings to assist the state agencies towards that area to fast-track investigation over those heinous people who are doing these acts. Now, do Kenyans know if Gona is lost for 24 hours is not known? Under the law, which has been there, the family should report to the DCI, and then don't stop there. Go to court under habeas corpus application that it should be produced within 24 hours. You sue the Inspector General of Police, you sue the Director of DCI, you sue the Attorney General, because they are responsible in arrests. And where there is suspicion that it is believed that it is officers from the Kenyan Republic, from these disciplined forces, either of them, then the court will direct, as you saw what now the sitting IG over the 3 guys who had lost were lost. That is the application that was made. But most of Kenyans don't know their rights.
Pengine tukianzia hapo kwa sababu nafikiria mambo ya abductions yamekuwa mengi na the recent cases za femicide ambazo tumekuwa tukiona, including hata the current DP akiwa CS pale alikuwa akiona na wakasema kwamba frameworks wameweka. Sasa sijui kama tunatarajia lipi haswa, kwa sababu ndio rais ametaja, lakini ni vitu ambavyo tumekuwa tukiviona, na ni kama serikali tu imekuwa iko vizuri kusema kwamba tumeweka frameworks, tutafuatilia. sijui kama tukuwe na hope ya kwamba hizi frameworks zilizowekwa zitafanya ama ni kuongea ndo sasa tusikie raha.
Sasa unajua askari wengi ambao wako na cheo sahihi ni wale walikuwa imla zilizopita za utawala wa kidikteta. Sasa kwao kubadilika kwa ghafla kufuata hizi nyenzo mpya, hizi frameworks zilizowekwa, ni vigumu sana. Hata ukienda police station saa nyingine unaongea kitu, mtu wewe si utafute lawyer. Tafuta lawyer huko. Kusikiza raia inakuwa ni ngumu. Wale wanajaribu kidogo ni hao ambao wanapigia haki za binadamu. Haki Afrika, Muhuri na wengineo tu wengi.
Yeah.
Unakuta wanajitolea. Ile si kazi yao pase, lakini ni kwa sababu wana umuhimu kama Wakenya na kutetea haki za Wakenya. Lakini askari on his own motion, mtu utapata pale Mwandoni, ana umpate pale Mtongwe, ama umpate huko Bangladesh, ameuawa. Hata ripoti ukiiweka asubuhi, polisi wanakuja saa 10.
So who is going to help, Anania?
Sasa whoever is in charge within that jurisdiction, if it's Kisauni, then we have an OCPD, we have a DCIO there. It is his responsibility. Why do they have patrols?
When we talk about, you've mentioned, he spoke about peace, tranquility, and order. Now we still have people missing, you know, after the protests. We still have people missing.
That's why I'm saying, if they hear me on what I'm saying about the relevant application in the High Court of a production of those people suing the IG, the DCI head, and the Attorney General, it's their responsibility.
What if they say they don't know?
The judge is there. He will make the necessary orders. Yes.
Because we saw this with the Kitengela brothers.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, the three of them I've
Yes.
said earlier. Why it know that they never went to court? Will those boys be found? And it's upon those who are elected. Weka mikutano, eleza watu haya maneno. Framework mlipitisha bungeni. Kama mtu wenu amepotea, ndio mimi mbunge nitafanya jitihada. Lakini endeni kotini haraka. Wekeni hii, tufanye hivi.
So the MPs actually wanafaa kuja ground watueleze hizi vitu angalau.
Kwani sheria zikitungwa kule bungeni, wewe huko kila siku, wao ndio wako?
Does your MP do that?
I think tunaona wakati wakitafuta kura tu.
Wakati wangu mimi nilikuwa ukiona kama wakati huo sijui 204 ulikuwa wapi ndugu zangu. Ilikuwa mimi kila baada ya wiki 2 nikija kama ni swala la usalama, na Kisauni ndio ilikuwa korofi kabisa. Lazima nichukue spidi wangu, maosiesi wangu, tuweke mkutano wa usalama. Wao wataongea, ile ni yao. Mimi sasa nitaongea kama serikali, kama naibu wa waziri. Na nitatoa directives zangu, na mwambia OCPD, nikisikia tena mtaa wa Barisheba, Bamburi, Mwembelegeza, njia ya Mwakirunge, watu huko wananyakwa, kuporwa na kuuawa, wewe ndio utajibu maswali. Manake wewe ndio una nguvu zote za serikali. Si askari, si magari, na wewe una njia ya kupata nini? Information kupitia wazee wa mitaa, nyumba 10, sub chief, chief, wote uko nao. We will bear the responsibility. Na unawaambia wazazi, kama mtoto wako ni mkora, mumesikia, inaambiwa baada ya saa 6 usiku watu wawili watatembea, muhuni na askari watapambana. Kwa hivyo usije ukanifuata mbunge, mtoto wangu ampigwa risasi, na ili hali umeambiwa ni watu wangapi watatembea baada ya saa 6 usiku?
Wawili.
Bas, askari na muhuni. Kwa hivyo ukipatikana time hizo, we ni muhuni, labda ujieleze vizuri.
Still on abductions, peace, tranquility, you know, this is a process. But also, we just saw Ugandan opposition leader, Besigye.
Yes.
He got abducted in Kenya. And we also saw the foreign PS come out and say that that this was not an act of the government, of the Kenyan government. What is going on?
You see, that's where I was even perplexed when I heard him, Dr. Koreri, who was my immediate boss in the office of the deputy president.
Yeah.
I was deputizing him in the legal department. They say that he came on his own private affairs.
Yes.
But a person of that caliber, definitely when it comes to the country must be aware.
Yeah.
You don't have to be told to give him security, because anything happening, the Republic will always be responsible. That's one. Secondly, even if the state of Uganda requires this guy and is in the Republic of Kenya, there are those now, our missions talk to each other as countries.
Yeah.
Do we have a bilateral treaty of repatriation to arrest this person and surrender him to Ugandan authorities, and then he's taken back? Like the times of Moi.
Yeah.
The Libyan government and Kenyan government, most dissidents were being assisted by the Libyan government to go to Norway to escape. So then Kenyan government closed the Libyan embassy in Kenya because it was aiding these dissidents to give them asylum in other countries to fight back the Republic of Kenya. So those are security agreements that are there. Mostly they are never made so public. And we are told in the hotel that he booked, it is easier to trace. And before the government made any substantive statement, they were to make sure that proper investigation had been done with speed, so that if that question arises, then there is a proper answer in terms of the relationship of between Uganda authorities and Kenyan authorities.
Maboza, this is there was also a case in Kisumu where Ugandan citizens were also taken back to their country.
Yeah.
We are witnessing a space where one would ask, are those like foreigners, are they even safe?
That's why it comes to whether any nation brings their people here, whether dignitaries or not dignitaries, but they are citizens there. It's bring that question, are they going to be safe? That's why you see, if there's an issue that has been spelled, maybe by the Austrians, Americans, Britons, they give an alert, security alert. You've seen it. They broadcast it, they put it in papers all over for the interest of their people. So the government of the Republic of Kenya must be proactive over these reports and know its source and liaise with these embassies so that they may know what is going on. But if somebody crosses the country either from Tanzania or from Uganda without validation, even if you are East African region where you can move around, but you must have either a traveling permit or a passport, but you must register, or even your ID. They had agreed during Uhuru Kenyatta's time, you can cross whether within East Africa, especially Uganda, Tanzania, and Kenya. But you must be captured at the border point. But if you go through Panya routes, what is your intention? What are you going to do? Why? So you don't have any valid or legal authority to be in this country, despite those arrangements.
Now, a quick one. We have our own hapa, Raila Amolo Odinga, ambaye anatafuta uchea.
Yes.
Hii kitu inaweza kuaffect kweli his bid? Kesi kama hii ya Besigye.
Kesi kama ya Besigye.
Kwamba sasa tunaonekana Kenya imefanyika hili.
Sasa unajua hizo ni katika harakati za kupigania kupata hicho kiti. Yeye kama ambaye atakuwa ndio mkuu wa Afrika, Umoja wa Afrika, anastahili akafanye nini? Akatoe taarifa yake, na kama ni Kenyan authorities ambao kulikuwa kuna shida, awe atachukua hatamu hiyo akipata ile nafasi kuona ya kwamba haki za Waganda si Besigye peke yake ambao wameingia katika nchi kihalali zinafanya nini? Zinahifadhiwa. Sasa ni yeye mwenyewe, tunasema bunzi akili kwako kichwani. Naam.
Moboza, we have 2027 is almost here, but also one can say that the president is trying, but also one can say that it's like you have to make a lot of noise for there to be a U-turn. Like people have to make a lot of noise for there to be a U-turn. For the finance bill, there was a lot of noise that now led to the disbandment of the cabinet. And then now for the university funding model, there was a lot of noise. And now a committee has been set up to look into it. And Adani deal as well, a lot of noise. And it took United States indicting Adani Group for us to see a U-turn. Does the Kenya Kwanza government know what they're doing?
They must be knowing.
They
should know why there is that provision in the Constitution for freedom of expression. It was put there ideally, and the intent of it is that if the government reneges on its responsibility, then the people who are sovereign and elected to be represented, they have a voice through that constitutional provision. So they are aware. It's not that they are not aware. Why do we have a government spokesperson? Is it just to shout and get money, riding in a GK and a guard? That is their work. They don't have to be told, because once you are given an appointment, there are terms of reference and mandate for you to work. Where you go outside the terms of reference and the mandate, now that's where you make crossroads with your own government. But if you are within that framework of doing your work, then you have no problem.
Are they working?
That's a question between you and me, because I've never occupied that office.
As a citizen, as a Kenyan citizen, and just compare. You can compare other governments.
Yeah?
Yeah.
They'll be quick to say, I've been removed from the Twitter account of UDA. I've been removed from I don't know what's group. Surely a government spokesman saying that is that important to Kenyans than the happenings. He has the power to source information, can call the Inspector General direct, can call the head of DCI direct, can talk to the Director of National Intelligence. What is happening? So you gather facts, and then you come back, you zero into your Minister of Interior with the communication team. Now what are we going to do? This is what has happened. This is the report I have. Could you be having independent report to add on this? Is this report that I'm given authentic or not? If it's authentic, then let's proceed. And then you hear him now speak out. It will make other agencies, security agencies, work, because it has been told to the Kenyan public.
We are speaking to Anania Moboza, and it is 2 minutes to 9. As we wrap up, what change do you want to see? What change do you want to see?
Let us vote with our minds, not our stomachs. Let us attend the rallies and see the various policies that those would be or want to be elected have, despite voting for a political party, a group, or a broad-based government or government of national unity. It has nothing to help you as a Kenyan. Look for conscious men, their characters, their backgrounds, and then you'll be able to make the right choice. I think I'm one of them, presenting myself for senatorial for that work to safeguard Mombasa County and her resources, and similarly other counties, in unison with other senators in that house.
Thank you so much. You know what? I think he's just said it. Yeah. You're vying for that position, and tutakuleta hapa.
Yeah.
I mean,